All right, everyone, the House of Representatives has overridden Trump's NDAA veto, and Sanders is vowing that he's going to fight the veto override unless he gets that $2,000 tacked onto the separate COVID stimulus bill, which is wrapped up in the omnibus budget bill. Politics is making weird bedfellows because the progressives right now, and Tulsi Gabbard voted against the veto. The progressives right now have sided with like the populists, like the MAGA people, and they're all fighting, for something that's vaguely more populistic at the moment, whereas you have the neocon, neolib sort of hegemon sort of plowing through with its agenda. First and foremost, though, before we get into the subject of the video any deeper, I am effectively shadow banned on YouTube. People have been randomly unsubscribed. I've had dozens of people over the last month say that explicitly. YouTube now openly brags about the fact that it screws any independent commentator that covers news and politics. They've literally bragged about it. They consider it a good thing that they're screwing millions of their own users. Proof that it's not led by the best and brightest anymore. Susan Wojcicki and Sundar Pichai and all these people, I think the gig will be up at some point and alt tech will take off. So there are 4 links in the description and a pinned comment as well. You can join me on a better site, or you can share this video out if you're watching it on YouTube. Put it on like Twitter or Minds or something. Definitely helps with searchability since nobody can find me on YouTube anymore. So anyway, the House has overridden the NDAA veto. It is likely that the Senate will also do so, but to override a veto you need 2/3. Sanders is capable of filibustering potentially for a very long time on this. He wants the $2,000 stimulus tacked on to the separate COVID relief bill. My own personal feelings, fuck the NDAA, first and foremost. We don't need it. There's no real reason to have such an onerous war pig bill. I don't agree with Trump on repealing 230. Sanders is not threatening this filibuster for the reasons that Trump vetoed the bill originally. He wanted 230 repealed, and he wants, other things from it. The COVID stimulus thing is semi-separate, but Sanders is looking at them as one whole. And so it's for fiscal reasons. I oppose the stimulus. I don't think we should give anyone a stimulus. I think we should just ban all lockdowns. I think that it's unconstitutional, number one, unhelpful, number two. I think we should get back to business, stop pussyfooting around and being pathetic, and just go live our lives. Failing that, though, if you have a situation where the government is attempting to absorb more power and money and screw people, it is better to give the stimulus broadly to individuals rather than spending it on a bunch of worthless pork. NDAA be damned. I don't believe in repealing 230. I believe in reforming it. Ultimately, though, I mean, you get to the point where you have to stand with far leftists on this issue simply because nobody's pushing the concept of simply opening things up. Even Trump's not. Trump is vaguely against the lockdown-ism, the lockdown culture, the coronatarians. But he's not really pushing the issue. He's right in the context if he realizes that that's not going to happen because the Democrats want a Dempression so they can have more power, and Breadline Bernie likes the idea. It makes sense to have a proper stimulus as opposed to one that's mainly geared towards giving money to a bunch of big banks and corporations. That's basically what the stimulus is involved with, and meanwhile it's wrapped up into an omnibus budget bill that laughably contains billions of dollars for other nations, and all sorts of pork for things that have nothing to do with COVID, nothing to do with the proper governance of the country. Tulsi Gabbard has really, and I say this not lightly, redeemed herself mostly in my eyes, because of course she's a deeply far-left anti-gunner. She's a high-tax, anti-gun far-leftist. But when she chooses to do this sort of thing and stand on principle, much like she voted against the other bill when people like AOC bit the bullet and voted for it, when she ends up in the league with people like Rand Paul, I think that there are redeeming facets at least to that group of people, because the populists and the progressives, the real ones, as opposed to like AOC and Tlaib and all the sellout, the Maoist gang of four, they just want money. They want to be able to click their fingernails and shake their bracelets and tap their feet and make smarmy comments about male politicians because they're a bunch of fucking grotesque sexists. The real leftists and the real populists, minus people like Dan Crenshaw, and Marco Rubio oddly on board at some points, have congealed almost because they're both actually fighting for real people. They're not fighting for a bunch of multinationals and for Beijing. Now, do I agree with the leftists? No. Leftism is in some ways worse than neoliberalism. The neoliberal corporate complex is at least capable of providing some upward mobility and some economic common sense. But at the end of the day, they're all corrupt. 99% of the money goes to the 1%, and then they embezzle most of it. The leftists have the redeeming facet of actually caring. And I don't mean the grift left or the Gang of Four style opportunists that want to sell overpriced sweatshirts, and I don't mean people that puke burp into microphones and ramble about Marvel. I'm talking about real leftists. Real leftists actually care. They have the wrong solutions, but at least they identify the right problems. Then you have the populists, and they're voting for the same thing for different reasons, who are standing behind Trump, who are standing for the idea of civil liberty, who by and large at least are questioning of the lockdowners and other problematic aspects of our current culture. I definitely support filibustering the NDAA veto override. I have to support Bernie Sanders for once on this issue. Again, politics making odd bedfellows. Meanwhile, idiots like AOC, they don't have a problem with it. They like war. They want their toys. They want to blow things up. They think if Beijing Biden's in there, there will be a war, probably. If he kicks the bucket or if he resigns due to his obvious Alzheimer's or something, Kamala would definitely on day one begin planning to invade somebody just to show that she's got balls like the boys. I can play too. He. This is fun. I'm strong and empowered. You know that that's exactly what she would do. And even if she's controlled, behind the scenes by other people, she'll make them give that one concession. Well, I want to bomb little children. I want to send drones out and kill people. Maybe I want to nuke somebody. Yeah, that'd be good. I can prove that I'm as butcherous as Harry Truman. That's what she'll be like. The NDAA, it should be vetoed. Not to repeal Section 230, though. Nor for stimulus purposes, holding out for stimulus. I don't support either of those things. Now, fuck it. I mean, the system is rigged at this point against the American people. So, let it get obstructed. Best thing that can happen is that in a few days, the Georgia Senate seats are decided both for the Republicans, and Mitch McConnell gets his wet dream of being able to lock the government down for the next 2 years. That's what I want. I want the Republicans to win those Senate seats. I want Mitch McConnell to threaten to cast people literally out of the party if they break rank, and just don't do anything. Let the government shut down at your earliest possible opportunity and keep it that way. Keep it that way forever. They don't do anything worthwhile anyway. What the fuck is the government doing for you except ruining small businesses, telling you to socially just stay away from your family, don't have friends, don't communicate with each other. No, you're not allowed to talk about politics on the internet. Oh my god, Russian disinformation. They're ruining Western civilization, so fuck them. Yeah, but it should be vetoed. Everything should be vetoed. Trump, what I wish he would do is break all their toys. I want him to pardon Snowden and Assange and do more. Right now he's still dicking around with this shit. Leave 230 alone. Do what Gabbard has done and support her reform of the bill. Fuck the NDAA. Fuck the stimulus. I don't need $2,000. I don't need $600. I don't need anything. I don't want anything from the government. I don't need Beijing Biden's $10,000 student loan handout, which he'll, increase my taxes accordingly, so it's not giving me anything anyway. I took money from you and then put it in your other pocket. Aren't I generous? You're not charitable. You're a charlatan. It's basically what it is. Thank you to Bernie Sanders. He's showing uncommon common sense. It's uncommon because, of course, number one, he's in Congress, and number two, he's a socialist. So for the wrong reasons, he's getting it right. We'll see how long his filibuster goes on for, though. He's vowing that he will. He's promising it. Of course, again, he's a politician, so take it or leave it. That's about all. Peace out.